It's a great day, Techy. Spear Max Lifeline.
Early, right? Who's ready to rock and roll today?
Yeah. So I don't know if somebody wants to role play that or if you just want to
Yeah,
hear it
let's role
out.
play. Let's see what we got.
Okay.
What
So
what am I? Am I the customer or am I the team member?
team member,
I'm the team member. Okay. So is it a phone call or is it a walk-in?
walk in.
Okay. So I'm gonna meet the customer at the door because they came all the way to me. So I'm gonna get my butt up off that chair from behind the counter and drive myself to the door before they get to me. So it's a great day at Techie. What information can I get for you today?
Hi. So I came last week. I got my screen replaced. It's giving me a message, and my internet's not working. My phone is lagging. You guys did something to my phone. I wasn't doing this before. I I my daughter told me that this is because it's not a real Apple screen. It's not working. I read the message and all the information it gives me, and it says that my internet's not gonna work because of the screen.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience, and thanks for coming back. We'll be glad to take care of you and try to figure out what's going on here. Can I get your information just to look you up in the system here?
Sure, yeah, it's blah blah 1 2 3.
Cool. All right, so it looks like you came in for I don't know, you want to give me the little story behind it?
Yeah, it was a screen repair.
Screen repair for what kind of phone?
iPhone 13 Pro
Okay,
Max.
perfect. Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, let me take a look at it for you. Have you tried anything? Like, have you tried to do a hard reset on it, or any of these things to try to see if that fixes the issue?
I did. I even deleted my browser history and my cookies, and it's still
Okay,
not working.
okay. All right, so let me take it in. I got all your information right here, and let me see what's going on with it. So you said pretty much the internet's like not working, and then you said something about a message or something like that.
Yes, it's saying it's not a real Apple screen.
Okay. Great, great, great. Okay. All right. So sounds good. Let me get your information, take you in here, get you situated. And is there a number I can call you back on to kind of give you an update what's going on?
No, I'll just hang out.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, can I get you anything? Can I get you water or something?
No, that's okay. I'm gonna have a seat, and but honestly, I'm pretty frustrated. So what's gonna happen if you can't fix it for me?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to try to get this thing back up and working for you. No problem. So just give me a minute here and I'll get right back to you. How's that sound?
Uh, sure, I guess.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Great. Give me a minute here. So what I'm trying to do here, guys, is as you see me picking it up, I'm trying to you know, I don't know for say what's going on off the top of my head. Um, so I'm gonna go to the back. I'm gonna phone a friend. I'm gonna reach out to somebody. I'm gonna see if somebody else has had these issues. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the phone off, do the least invasive stuff first, turn it back on, make sure the internet is working like they're saying. As far as the message time, we know the thing with the message, so but I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole yet. I'm not even going to go down that yet. I want to kind of get myself settled in and figure out how I'm going to respond to this, right? And what am I going to do in order to satisfy this customer at the end of the day? So my idea would be I would go back, I would turn it off, turn it back on, see if that helps the issue. Least invasive first. I would see if I see anything crazy, which maybe the SIM cards, um, I don't know, stop, pop SIM card out, pop SIM card back in, see what happens, and then I would go back to the customer and say, and I don't know what the response was after. What ended up happening? If you can give me a little bit, you guys did that stuff, and what happened?
Yes. So you want me to tell you how I resolved that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, tell me what you did.
Okay. So yeah, of course she was upset. She was supposed to. Well, no, she's not. Yeah, she was supposed to leave the next Monday to travel.
Yeah,
So I was talking to her and trying to get as much information as I could,
of course.
and she was not being super cooperative. Like she wouldn't even share her password with me so that I could test it out.
Yeah.
But because I noticed the type of customer that she was at the moment, I decided instead of telling her, I would just show her.
Yep.
So what I did was I grabbed her old screen, I connected it on the phone, and I let her know this is your old screen. Now test out your phone and show me what happens. So I handed her the phone with her old screen. She went through the internet, still not working. Then I suggested something. I was like, can we try something? Can we try downloading Google Chrome? So we did. Google Chrome was working fine. So at that point, I told her, this is most likely a setting. If you let me go through your settings, I can change something. And then she told me, like, oh yeah, no, I copied the same exact settings that my daughter has, and it's working on her phone. So you guys definitely did something. So she wasn't really letting me do much with her phone
Mm-hmm.
until like I came up with the idea. I was like, okay, let's bring up your daughter's phone. Let's compare the settings. I kind of already had a suspicion on what it was. Uh, so I went exactly to the Safari settings, and then I compared the settings in front of her, and then I told her, you see, there's this one button that's not matching up, and it was the block all cookies
Yep.
button. So for those who don't know, the cookies, some websites use it to load up their website. So if you block those, websites are not gonna load up the way they should be.
Yep.
So we turned that on. Sure enough, that's what it was. It was working. Uh, she kind of apologized, and I was like, "It's all good. I understand. Like when we get frustrated, these things happen." So I put the screen back on. I did test it out afterwards, and I let her use it so that she could test it afterwards. Uh, and she ended up leaving happy. So she didn't really care about the message.
Yeah.
Although I did explain to her that
Well,
usually the only way to take that out is through the software.
what
But
made you take off the screen and do more labor? Was that just to like get her to understand that look, it's not the screen, or what was your
uh,
thought process
yeah,
on
yeah,
that?
exactly that. It was exactly that.
Okay.
Of course, I knew because of the way she came in. If I didn't help her out,
Yeah.
I'd go out beyond. It was gonna end up worse.
Yeah.
Um, so definitely, I went that extra step, and I just to show her that it wasn't her screen.
Yeah.
Um,
Great. No, I love it. And look, every situation, every scenario is different, and I think the biggest thing is, and I think the biggest lesson to take out of this is like you can't get upset at the customer if they don't want to give you the password. You can't get upset at the customer if they you gotta don't take it personal. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but just try to cope with them the best you can, and just, hey, what can I do to help you? What do we need to do? I want to get this fixed for you just as much as you do. And so these words that you can use that are going to really help you with this stuff is key, right? So um again, this I've seen this scenario similar thousands of times, and just that'd be a great job the way you handle it. A lot of times people will just say, well, ma'am, you're screwed. You know what I mean? And that's just not the way to go. So you got to really hone in on the customer, put yourself in their shoes. They're not the techie. They don't understand the technology. We do. They came to us because they know that we understand it. So when they start insulting, maybe insulting us, if you will, hey, you guys messed up. Don't take that personal. Maybe they just don't understand the processes, and that's fine. And you don't need to relay that to them. But it's okay to just step back and grab it. And like I said, if you don't know what's going on, phone a friend, just like Giuseppe was saying here. So I love it. Yeah, great situation, great scenario for sure. And I hope you guys. What are your thoughts about that, guys? What's your thoughts? But yeah, I mean, here's a scenario that I want to bring up as Darren tries to come up. Um, and I was talking to one of our partners yesterday, and they have a team member that's been with so he purchased an existing store, and they have a team member that's been there for a long time. And the team member seems to be maybe a little burnt out, but tells the owner, right, the person that pays him, right, you guys might be coming across this issue too, is tells him like, stop micromanaging me, right? Stop like yelling at me. Like how would you guys handle those situations? Because I'm sure everybody's been through those processes, right? And there's frustrations in the team members, there's frustrations in uh the the partner, the owner now. Like, how would you guys handle that situation and and try to like get on the same page? I don't and the reason I bring this up because I felt for him, because it's a hard situation, as he's trying to hire more individuals and 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 trying to move forward in this new opportunity that he has. He's battling with somebody that's been there for a long time and is pushing back on him, right, and or her. And so I just wanted to see what your thoughts are. And how would you guys handle a situation like that?
Yeah,
Um,
oh, go ahead.
that's okay. I didn't know you were going to answer. But my suggestion would be, okay, hey, I may have a different management style than your last owner, so kick it back to the employee. It's my job to make sure we do all things a certain way. I may have a different style, may ask different things of you. So whenever I have to ask those things of you, what is the best way you like to be managed? So then you put it back to the employee and say, first of all, that does two things. It shows that you respect that person, that you respect their opinion, and they're going to be part of the conversation. So it diffuses that thing completely. But also, it gives them an opportunity of, well, I like to be managed this way. If you need something on me, I like for you to, send me a text at the end of the day. I don't know, whatever this person actually might like. So maybe something very small that the new owner is doing that like is really setting this person off or triggers this person. I don't know. But at the end of the day, everybody knows that their boss is going to ask them to do things of them. That's probably not the issue. It's probably the way it's done. And so putting it back to the employee and saying, what are the things that make you feel this way so that I can correct it? And how would you like for me to ask things of you in the future? Because I'm going to have to do that. It's my job.
Home
Yeah,
run, Darren. Home run.
if I may, as a leader, you are dealing with many different personality types, and you have to be the person that knows how to deal with all these different personality types. I myself every day sit down and do some management training. I sit in front of Grant Cardone University and learn about how would this person want to be dealt with, how would this person want to be dealt with, and you have to be that person that can you know uh, treat everybody in their own special way. So in the event that you have somebody that you really don't know how to deal with, training is always an option. You can sit down in front of some management training, some leadership training, and see if there's anything that you can pull from that.
Great advice, for sure, for sure. Bob, what's up?
Well, I mean, there's a couple ways that I think I would handle it. First off, when I took the store, if I, you said the guy bought the store, right? And
Yeah, he took
yeah.
over a store, and the gentleman's been there for quite some time, and he's just having a hard time,
So
and
if I bought the store and I took it over, I would have taken this guy, like, I have a Starbucks around the corner. I would have taken each member who has stayed with the store and just go to get to know these people, right? That
yeah,
would have been the first thing I would have done. Just say,
yeah,
what makes you tick? What do you see that's working? What do you see that's not
yep,
working? Right? That I would have kind of gone there just to kind of get this person. Then, after, a while and things start, hey, don't micromanage me. I would have, hey, let's go talk real quick. I said, hey, what is it that I'm doing that makes you feel like you're being micromanaged? Okay, all right, cool. Um, how would you like it to be? Walk me through the scenario, like how, let's go through some scenarios. I want to role play this with you, right? Like, how can we be better? How can we communicate better, right? Because at the end of the day, I think we have the same mission, right? You want to, you like working here. Obviously, you've been here a long time. Um, but what is it, that keeps you here? What makes you like I would ask that again, and just got to get in this person's head to try to understand, how this person, because what's his love language? Because if
My
you
wife said
understand
that to me last night.
yeah, if you understand their love language, right? Like my wife is as active service. I mean, you can say all the things you want, but my wife likes vacuuming the house, man. She likes cleaning the dishes. That's her love language. Well, what's this person's love? Maybe it's maybe it's words of affirmation. Like, hey, man, you're doing a great job. Love it. Love what you're doing. Keep it up. Or maybe he doesn't like that. Maybe it's something else. But if you understand what their love language is and you just talk to the employees in their love language, man, that's it, man. You're golden.
I love it. I love that. Great information, great content for sure, guys. And look, this is something that we've all been down the road before. And I feel for a lot of the partners that call us and ask these kind of things. And so this is why I wanted to bring this up, because it's hard sometimes. And you feel like you're doing everything right and you're trying to put your soul into it, right? And I think all of us are doing that here. And then sometimes you're just like, what happened there, right? Why did it go left field? Well, what did I do wrong that I can change? Um, and so I love that those approaches that you guys both talked about, Darren and Bob, and Michael. Get better every day as much as you possibly can. Take some videos, get a mentor, and learn more about how we can get better together. But Darren and Bob, I love the way you just approach it. Like, don't don't take it personal. Put it on them to answer the question for you, so you can build that relationship. So that's great. Great tips, guys. Great tips. And this is why we do this every single Friday for experiences. What other experiences do we have out there? What other experience? And I would challenge you to go, as we talk about this today, you know, to chat with your team members and continue to build those relationships and share some of the stuff that you do um, with your team members and get them more involved and make them feel as if you know they are they should be a part of the growth. So I love it. Anybody else have any other scenarios or situations um, you would like to maybe talk about? Love to hear from you. Gary, what's up? You came up. We rocking today.
And listen, I just wanted to add a little story, a little bit to Giuseppe's story. Try to do everything that you can to have that customer feel good about the store. So when we got done moving the phone over and fixing it and making sure that it was working, she lived closer to Parkland, but Parkland couldn't do what they needed to do at that time, so they sent her over to Deerfield. Well, she lived closer to Parkland, so when we got done with her phone, instead of making her come pick it up, when I got off of work, I went and I delivered it to her. I met her at the Parkland store and dropped off her phone. So it gave her a better feeling about the customer service that we give at Techy.
I love that, Gary. Like, that's the going the extra mile. And then I talk about this just on a simple level of meeting the customer at the door because they drove all the way to you. So Gary, 100%, that's a great job. Lunch on me today. I'll send you an Uber Eats. You can buy whatever you want. But a fantastic job there, because that customer is driven to you twice already. You didn't even know that she was from Parkland, right? And now she's drove, and that's I'll give you that perspective. That's a 25-minute drive. So it's more the reason why you need to meet these customers at the front door, and it's more the reason you need to go that extra mile and have the conversation with your customers to find out what's going on. So maybe she was just frustrated because she had to drive out there again.
Yeah,
And
and it's also more personal because, if you give it to an Uber driver, then the Uber driver, is not the person that did it.
yeah,
You're making the effort to personally go out there and make sure that she's
I love it.
happy.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And you salvaged the customer, and she will continue to come back to you just for that extra step that you did. And that's a lot of times retail stores and customer service, they forget about that stuff. They do it in the very beginning. They go those extra miles, they're excited about it, And then as they get a little bit more day-to-day process, they forget about that extra mile step that you should continue to be doing for your customers and your clients, because those are the ones that are paying our bills and continuing to come back. So great job, Gary. Appreciate that. Great story for sure.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Bob, what's up?
So,
I know you're always going the extra mile.
well, that's funny you say that. So I have this young college girl that I just hired, and she's awesome, man. And it's one of her customers. Customers. He sent his daughter here, and I said, well, let's try. And man, she's sucking up like a sponge, man. She's great. But the funny thing is, she was watching me in the front. She was kind of shadowing me in the front yesterday, and I mean, I like went through a barrage of customers. I mean, it must have been like 4 or 5, and she just sat there and watched me. And then it kind of got quiet, and then she looked at me, and she's like, and I was thinking about this all night. She's like, "Man, you're a master of dealing with people. How do you do that?" I just giggled. I said, "Do you think what I just did is hard? That is so simple." I said, "You just got to get out of your shell." I said, "This is a skill I've learned over 40 years of how to deal with people." And she was like, "Can I do that same?" I says, "Absolutely." I mean, he says, "You just talk to people like as if they're just normal people. They put their pants on just like you. You just kind of." And I just talk to them like they're average Joes, man. And people appreciate that. And I just try at the end of the day, I just try to earn their trust and be an honest broker. And if you can do that, man, they'll come back to you. And so yeah, she was just amazed. And so, anyways, I told her to go read this little book called Skill with People, right? And it's about 30 minutes by Les Giblin. It's the first book I read on dealing with people, and that's the start of this whole journey of how you deal the front of the store. And so, anyways, I just want to share that.
Yeah, it's great content for sure. Appreciate you sharing that for sure. And yeah, and I think we've all heard that a bunch of times. Like, how do you do that? You know, and I think, even here at headquarters, Brett runs Techie Extra, and he's got team members under him, and it's the same battle that he has, and what I have, and we all have. Hey, how do you do that? How do you do this? And so, how do we translate that to our team members, and so they can do just as well, and so we can all win together. So, yeah, I love that, and that's great content, and I love the book idea too as well. So they can hear from somebody else too as well. It's not just you, just you. They're hearing it from another person as well. So I love that. Who else? Who else has got maybe a subject, a topic they want to come up and chat about, and would love to hear from you guys. I hope this is helping, because I know it helps me, and so I hope it helps you guys too as well. And this is why we do this Monday through Friday. And I appreciate all the consistency of our team members uh, that are on here and our partners. It means a lot to us too as well, and as we continue to grow. So, who else has a situation, a scenario? Love to hear from you.
I'd like to comment on something that Bob said
Yeah,
about that book specifically. Something that I've been thinking about a lot lately as the company trainer is adding value to the people that I'm training's lives. And something as simple as offering the title of a book might just add value to one of your team members' lives, and something that they could take forward with them and implement in their own day to day. And even if they don't stay with you long term, you are adding value to their lives. Something that I'm doing every day is teaching people a trade that's, for all intents and purposes, not going anywhere anytime soon. So I like to tell the people that I train, this is something that is adding value to your life. You've now learned to train, and you're never going to be without work. So instill that into your people, and always try to have little tidbits that add value to your team members' lives.
So,
absolutely.
so I was going to add
Techie
to,
5.
yeah, absolutely. Hey, I was going to add to that. You just sparked the thought process. So, and I'm not sure if this is right or not, but I'll hire anybody, right? Well, that has a pulse and they know what they're talking about on computers and they can talk to people. But typically, I hire um, like young college students that are really sharp, and so I tell them, I said, look, I don't offer you much, right? Because I don't have, like, they can go make more money at some other places and such. But what I offer you is 40 years of experience and mentorship. And so when they come aboard, that's what I give them. And I tell them, I says, look, if you're working for me for 2 to 3 years, um, then something's wrong, because most of these people, they want to go and do their professional careers. And so I help groom them, though, because I said, look, if you can't do these skills here, you're not going to be able to translate those skills anywhere else. And what I'm teaching you here is going to go to any professional job you take. And I've had 3 graduating classes, and man, and everything, they come back to me like a proud papa, and they say, man, Pop, what you taught me here, I said, I didn't believe you at first, but man, that absolutely what I learned here, it's true. I needed that skill at this job, and I needed the skill at that job. And I'm like, yep. I says, I knew it, because I've done every job in the computer field you've done in 40 years. And I know exactly how you get there. I know I could tell you how you get to this job and what the steps are you get to that job. And they've listened to me, and they take it. And it's great, man. So
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome stuff, and this is why we're even trying to build. And we had a conversation with Mike about this, was Techie Junior. You know what I mean, and trying to build those processes and those kind of things, and give back to the youth, right? As we have a lot of youth in the company, and how do we help mold them for their future? So some of the things that we're trying to add here too, and so Mike's super excited about that process and getting that going. So, but there's lots of great things here happening at Techie and Experamax and Lifeline, and I appreciate you guys getting on here and engaging with us. If there's anything else that you need, don't hesitate to reach out. You guys all have my personal cell phone number. You can call me anytime, Michael anytime. I know Giuseppe, Cal, and Nicole. I mean, we're all here for you guys, and vice versa. We're going to be reaching out to you too and saying hi and seeing how you're doing. As Kyle's visited a bunch of stores recently, and I know I've been talking to a handful of you guys down there too as well. So, but if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Ticket at techiecompany.com is the best place to get a hold of us. If it's an emergency or something, maybe a little bit more, or maybe you just want to talk, just give us a shout. We'd love to hear from you. Besides that, thanks for coming up. Thanks for engaging.